Hi guys, welcome back to the UK and Ireland tour. My name is Chris, aka Big Will, and today we have two games for you against Aberdeen and Queens Park. Since you were with us for our opening match in charge, we've been a little bit hit and miss, in all honesty. It's been a bit of a tough run. We tried to revert to that 4-4-2 that we had been using for a game. It didn't work, so we've stuck with a 4-3-3, and overall, it's not been too bad. Obviously, you were with us for the 0-0 draw against St Mirren, which overall was probably a bit of a disappointing result. We followed it up with a 2-2 draw against Kilmarnock. Again, we played pretty well in the game and had the majority of the chances, but again, we just couldn't get that. Well, we couldn't hit the back of the net. Basically, the squad still trying to get used to this tactic, but Lewis Mullen is doing very, very well. He has scored in all of his last 6 matches. He's done very, very well for us recently. We got a 3-1 win away against Livingston. Again, pretty good results. Lewis Mullen scoring there, along with Luke McCowan and Stephen Welsh. We then had 2 consecutive defeats, a 2-1 loss against Rangers in a game in which, again, we were the better side. Rangers just converted their chances. Mullen did give us the lead, and we were very unlucky not to come out with anything from the game. The game against Hearts, we did try the 4-4-2. Again, we went 2-0 down. We changed back to the 4-3-3, and we got the goal back through Lewis Mullen, but we couldn't quite get back into terms. So a 2-1 defeat away there. But a 3-0 win at home against Dundee. Again, a goal for Lewis Mullen, Diamande from the spot, and Barclay Nish also from the penalty spot. And a 3-2 win away against Motherwell last time out. Goals from Diamande, Mullen, and Dean Martin. So, form wise, I'm actually quite pleased at the moment. We're going into 2 games that last time out they beat Aberdeen and drew with Queens Park. I'm hoping that we can get probably a draw against Aberdeen. They're a good side. They're sat just above us in the league table. And Queen's Park is a game that we need to be winning. They're down at the bottom of the table, and they're games that should be winnable. We're already making waves in the transfer market. We're offloading a few players already. We've got some big deals going through. We're trying to balance the club's financial status a little bit, and we're replacing the players that we're selling with cheap options, basically. Players that have got good quality, don't get me wrong, but they are cheap. So I'm hopeful that we can find a way of balancing the books a little bit better for this football club as time goes on. We're not going to get too far into transfers today. Obviously, we're at the end of December and we have the month of January to come as well. A tough Scottish Cup tie 4th round against Aberdeen, which is a bit of a shame. An easier tie would have been nice, but again, we're just trying to get the balance with the squad. And if the target's to get into the top 6, basically, because they do that league split thing, and if we can get in the top 6, there is then that chance with the last matches of the season that we could qualify for a European slot. But as you can see, in terms of the Scottish Premier League, there's not actually too many games left overall. It's very first half of the season heavy. So we'll get into these 2 games now, and we'll see what we can do. There's a number of the bigger name players that are going to be leaving as well. So we are a little bit short on 1 or 2 players in certain positions. And again, we're trying to get cheap options in and trying to sort that out as we go. So in goal today, we've got Drummle, Azevedo, Morrison, Welsh, and Miller at the back. Otasawi, Fletcher, Levitt, Diamande, McCowan, and Mullen is the starting lineup today. Fitness wise, we are struggling a little bit. Obviously, the squad has ended up being quite small. The players that were offloading, I have moved to the reserve squad, and we're not using them because we need to get used to not having them in there. So, in terms of squad balance, we are, like I say, a bit short in certain positions, but I think we're very much capable of doing well in these next couple of matches. So, we'll get into it and we'll hope for the best because, like I say, it's going to be a difficult spell for the club. Obviously, we're trying to get money in and replace them with players that are very, very cheap. So it's going to be difficult to do that. But we are hopeful that, especially with the start that I've made in the transfer window, for the upcoming transfer window, should I say, The start that we've made in terms of getting a lot of money in and being able to spend little, um, it's slightly working in our favour at the moment. We actually only have 10% retained transfer revenue as well. So um, with the amount of money we've brought in, I've had very little to spend anyway, which works in my favour. I'm quite used to doing things like that. But for a side the size of Hibernian and in the league that we're in, to be competitive, we are going to have to get to a point where we will have to spend some money. And it is going to be difficult, but that's the nature of the challenge, isn't it? It's a great ball from Azevedo, and Diamandi's been brought down. I thought that was a bit harsh. Um, Obviously, the way the game portrays these potential penalty kicks is always a little bit ifs, buts, and maybes. Um, but we've been awarded a penalty, and we have a chance to take the lead here through Diamande. Mullen's form, incidentally, has made him the top scorer for the club this season. He's done very, very well since we've come in. What an effort that is from the goalkeeper, Kelly. What a phenomenal piece of goalkeeping. That's a great save from the penalty spot. Dylan Levitt here with a corner, swinging it into that far post. McGowan was there. It's cleared away comfortably. And Mullen picks it up, trying to keep the move going. I don't think he'll be able to, really. He's found Otasawi. And now Mullen again. Just holding on to possession, lays it back to Welsh. And yeah, it does die down. And that is a huge blow. Diamande, potential lower leg injury. That is the last thing we need because we don't really have anyone who can play on that left-hand side at the moment. We're going to bring Mark Dunn on the right-hand side and move McCowan over to the left. Like I say, we are trying to strengthen the squad, but it is very difficult with the lack of finances we've got. But a number of the higher paid players that were at the club, we are getting rid of. So in terms of wage budget, we're going to be very, very nicely balanced. Um, and in terms of the overall bank balance at the club, again, that's something that I'm hopeful we can sort out for the end of this season. Here is Camerson, plays it in, and there is Duke, and that is a very neat goal. I mean, Duke made a very good run to get onto it. Camerson's pass was interesting, to say the least, and from a missed penalty at one end and a very good start, we have conceded. And again, it just comes down to converting our chances. We've had 3 attempts on target from 4, and obviously one of them a missed penalty. We've had 80% possession so far as well. And we'll just demand a little bit more from the side. Fletcher here with a delivery into the penalty area, and Welsh is there, and he's hit the post. And again, that's a big opportunity for us. He's got to be hitting the target there. Incidentally, a few of our key players, the likes of Dylan Levitt, Diamande, and Welsh, are all being linked with moves to Saudi Arabia. We've already made 3 or 4 sales to Saudi clubs as well. So it could be a very interesting transfer window in that, obviously, if we lose our best players, it's basically a complete rebuild of the squad. And here's Asay Samuel coming down the left-hand side, plays it back to Weir, and now Vidovic back to Morales, and they're just knocking it around the penalty area. We need to get stuck into them a bit here, but we're frightened of putting in a challenge, and Asay Samuel has made it 2, and it looks like we're going to be heading for a defeat here. This is not a good performance from our point of view. We've done quite well recently, in all honesty, but look at those match stats. They've had 2 attempts on target and scored them both. And our keeper, Drommel, he's got plenty of quality, but at times he is a little bit questionable. But that's 2 attempts on target that they've had 30% possession. We've been the better side all round here, but we've not been able to find the back of the net. And obviously our key player, one of our key players in Diamande, getting injured is certainly not going to help our cause for this season. This is going to be a bit of a blow, to be honest, because we're showing just how capable we are. But again, not converting our chances, and it's a bit of a shame that we're not getting there. Again, we're going to demand more, and we're going to make a couple of changes. I mean, the squad is shattered, and we haven't really got enough players about us at the moment to make a big difference. Gunn and Summers are going to come on. Mullen can come off for Dean Martin, and we'll get Kingdon on at centre back, I think, as well for Welsh. And again, at this point, it's damage limitations, and it's a shame because again, we've been by far the better side, and we're just not converting our chances. And I think we're just lacking some individual quality in certain areas of the pitch, I think, and a little bit more of that will see us score more goals. And we've got some injuries as well. Yuan, the Frenchman, yes, he's not actually scored a goal this season, even before we arrived. He's gone with a free kick. It's a good effort and it's a good save from Kelly. Yuan hadn't scored all season, but he's out injured as well now. He was the only other option we had for that left-hand side. Here's Levitt, swinging it into that far post, and again, Kelly comfortably claiming he's had a very good day in goal, to be fair, the goalkeeper. The save penalty certainly set the tone for the match, but we've had so many opportunities today in comparison to Aberdeen, but they've just put them in the back of the net. And here is Vidovic with a delivery from the corner. I mean, 2-0 flatters Aberdeen as it is, and they've hit the post here. It could have very easily been 3 there. Well, we're certainly beaten, but I'm not. It's awkward, isn't it? I'm not disheartened by the performance at all, but it's going to be the first game that we've had that Mullen hasn't scored as well. So that says a lot. As Vidovic strikes and scores, that is absolutely. I mean, we don't deserve that. We don't deserve it at all. We'll have to get. Well, I mean, we've got to knuckle into the players because the fact that we've lost 3-0 is unacceptable. I mean, those match stats are ridiculous. But again, individual quality shines through, it would appear. And that pushes Aberdeen up to 5th. And if we'd have won that game, we'd have actually leapfrogged them and gone into that top half. But as it stands, we're down to 9th. There's no threat of relegation. I think we're absolutely fine in terms of that. But yeah, so as you can see, there's a potential transfer happening there. Obviously, we'll go into a few details in the meantime. But we've got a game against Queens Park in 4 days, so bear with me, and we'll come back for that game, and hopefully a better result will be incoming. Okay then, guys, here we go for the game away against Queens Park. Hopefully we can get a result today. A win, depending on other results, could see us go as high as 7th place. It's a case of just building that consistency. Again, I'm not frightened of being relegated. I don't think we're in any position that we will get relegated. A result here against Queens Park will, in my opinion, pretty much secure our safety anyway. A win here today will get us 16 points clear of that relegation zone, and that is the biggest target. Obviously, a number of the players that we're offloading should be in the first team squad, but I don't want to be playing them. We need to be used to not having them in. And as annoying as it is that we've got such a small squad at the moment, it is what it is. Diamande's out for 7 weeks. He's got shin splints. Mikasa is still out injured. He's out for still 4 to 7 weeks with a torn hamstring. And Yuan is still out as well after suffering a hip injury. So he'll be out for 2 months still. Felinius, we've moved back into the senior side because he's actually on loan at DC United in America. And his loan deal expires at the end of December. His actual contract with us finishes at the end of the season, so it's something that we'll keep an eye on and look at. But it is an option for us to have out wide anyway. I think we're very much capable. We've transfer listed our 2 backup goalkeepers as well. They don't really match up to enough quality. So yeah, 4 exits will be confirmed at the start of January, with a further 2 toward the end of January. And we've confirmed 3 or 4 signings so far, and we're waiting on work permits on 1 or 2 as well. And overall, again, in terms of spending in wages and general spending as well, we are very much making money. So at this stage, from a financial perspective of the club, it's a key thing for the club. They want to be on a secure financial footing, and that is what we're doing. So we go into this game, and we need the 3 points. Azevedo here into Kingdon. Lays it across to Gunn. Plays it forward, and Dunn looks to try and pick it up on this right-hand side. He does well to get there, actually. Plays the cross in, and Mullen is there, and he's hit the woodwork. And again, it's a big opportunity miss there. It should have been a goal. Welsh here with the throw. Plays it into Dunn. Back to Welsh. And now Summers, who gets a start today, into Fletcher. Back to Kingdon again. Plays it to the left-hand side. Azevedo has an opportunity to make the run past his man, and he does well beating him once, but then he turns back instead of hitting the byline. But Fletcher's delivery is a really good one. And again, we've clipped the crossbar. And this time it was Dunn who managed to do it. And Fletcher here now with a corner. Swings it in toward that far post. Morrison is there, and it's off the post. And Eastwood somehow managed to block the second attempt. Azevedo back in. Fletcher into Mullen. And finally, we get that deserved goal. I'm not too sure if he was onside or not. It was a well-worked goal, actually, to be fair. It was a brilliant delivery in. I'm pretty sure that that was okay, and it was. So we finally take an opportunity after hitting the woodwork 3 times in this opening 10 minutes. It's a great ball in from Azevedo. Fletcher with a lovely header down, and Mullen was there with the finish. And it's his 10th goal of the season, 7 of which have come since we started. So we've certainly seen a rebirth in his form since his previous. So we take a deserved lead. And as things stand, we do go up to 7th place. Motherwell are losing 2-0 at the moment against Kilmarnock. So that is a big opportunity for us. St Mirren also dropping points at the moment away at Aberdeen. So it's quite tightly congested between ourselves and those 2 other clubs. So until we can get some consistency in our form, we are going to be keeping an eye on what everyone else is doing around us. Here's Summers, plays it out to the left back Azevedo. Couldn't get the strike away. Dunn brought down, but it doesn't matter because it fell for Lewis Mullen, who has smashed it into the back of the net. And we take a 2-goal advantage. And again, it's nice to see we are actually converting some of our chances. Summers having a decent game, to be fair, at the base of that midfield. He's still pushing forward a bit. Dunn got brought down there. And there was no foul. It fell nicely for Lewis Mullen, and it is 2-0. And again, Queen's Park yet to have an attempt at goal at all. We are very dominant in this game. Here's Gunn into Welsh, and now Summers back into Welsh. Gunn picks it up now. Lays it back to Kingdon, now Azevedo. Oh, it's a good effort from Azevedo. It goes just over the bar. And it remains 2-0 as we approach half-time. Aberdeen are beating St Mirren. Kilmarnock are beating Motherwell 3-1 at the moment. So we are very much looking good here. And it's just going to be a case of maintaining what we're doing. Incidentally, I'm keeping an eye on the form of McCowan at the moment. He rated just a 6 in the previous game. And he's just not getting into any of the games at the moment. I mean, he's rating a 6.2 today. And you look at the rest of the match ratings for the squad, they're all 7s plus, apart from Stephen Welsh, who's not naturally a right back, and Summers in the base of the midfield. But McCowan, a 6.2. It's very, very poor. And he could be a player that we look at moving on if his form doesn't improve. He picks it up here and finds Summers, and it's a good effort from the youngster, and Eastwood palms it out for a corner. And we'll continue to see the highlight, which is refreshing. Fletcher here with a delivery toward that far post. Morrison is there, and he doesn't beat Allardyce in the air, and it remains, again, 2-0. Queen's Park, again, yet to have a shot on target. 13 attempts at goal. We've had 6 on target. And we're looking very, very strong here. Kilmarnock are battering Motherwell. It's 5-1 now in that game. Aberdeen 2-1 up against St Mirren. And Fletcher now coming forward. Chance to maybe secure a victory and return from that 3-0 deficit that we suffered against Aberdeen and get a 3-0 win here. Summers brought down, but it's fallen for Gunn. And Eastwood again, just about keeping that one out. And it remains 2-0, but we are very, very much looking good here. And it's, again, we've converted our chances. And if we'd have done the same against Aberdeen, we'd probably be looking a little bit better. But we'll certainly take these 3 points. It's a very convincing victory and a brace for our young striker, Lewis Mullen, who really is starting to improve matters in his game. But again, McCowan, poor performance, could be something that we need to look at. So that moves us within 5 points of the top 5. We're just 2 points behind St Johnstone. I'm quite pleased about that at the moment. Again, bit of a run of form. We'll see us push up the table a little bit, but it will take time. Um, again, very good result. And now we have a very busy time ahead. Only the 4 games in January, so not busy in relation to that, but we've got the January transfer window. So a lot of business we're looking at making happen. And we'll come back for Kilmarnock and Livingston in February. And we will have that transfer roundup. I think, to be fair, because of the number of transfers that are already happening, we might just have the 1 game with the transfer roundup because it could be a very busy one. And yeah, see you guys tomorrow. So until then, guys, thank you very much for your support. Please like, subscribe to the channel. It's all greatly appreciated. I will see you all next time. This is Big Will, signing away.